Marriage is dedication. You give yourself, your life and love into the hands of the one you love. You do this with trust and generosity, and in doing so, each of you receives the love and trust of the other. Now, Matthew and Holly, no ceremony can create a marriage. Only you can do that, through love and patience. It is a tradition at this point in the marriage ceremony to ask the question of giving away. The giving away of a bride has a very long history. Long ago, it was the custom for a young woman to be under the authority and protection of the one who was head of her household. When she married, the responsibility then passed to her husband. So today, we would like to change this tradition and ask both Matthew and Holly's parents if they are happy for the ceremony to proceed today.
Love works in wonderfully weird ways. We look at one person and decide that we want to spend the rest of our life with them. And before, we didn't even know what they were doing or where they were. But suddenly, all our dreams might happen by our side. All our hopes for the future, and all our goals to hit and cheering us out with a kind smile on their face. We don't depend on them for our happiness, but we do depend on them for being our biggest support, both mentally and emotionally. We don't build a home inside them, but build a home together with them. It's hard to think that we haven't met them, but we continue to go past our journey unaffected by what they're doing in their lives. But the moment we give our hearts to them, everything changes forever. And this is why love is so magnificent, so magical, and so real. This is why love is the most powerful source in the world. This is why love impacts us so much in our lives. This is why love exists.
In every heart there is a room, a sanctuary safe and strong, to heal the wounds from lovers past, until a new one comes along. I spoke to you in cautious tones. You answered me with no pretense, and still I feel I stand too much. My silence is my self-defense. And every time I've held a rose, it seems I only felt the thorns. And so it goes, and so it goes, and so will you soon, I suppose.
So first of all, you must both declare in my presence and in the presence of all of your witnesses that you know of no written objection to your marrying each other and that you accept each other as husband and wife. I will be faithful and honest,
I will be faithful and honest,
loving and trustworthy.
loving and trustworthy.
I will be there for you
I will be there for you
in good times and bad.
in good times and bad.
Just like water, love can be a life giver, and it can also be a lifesaver as well. Love will hold you, but you can also float along in its embrace. It's also a journey, it takes hard work. But just like water, love is in it for the long game. When it was new, your love enthusiastically sprang out of purple heather crags high from heights. Your love grew into a river that transformed into strong torrents that curved and carved their way through rocky mountains. There were rocks, cliffs, and narrow canyons that you navigated together, but also moments of deep calm and still. in a loch that hides many a secret, left unspoken, best kept that way. Onwards from there, river deepened, and so did your love. Your love grew like a river downstream. If there is one thing you remember from today, let it be that it was love that brought you here, love which will hold you together, and love with which your marriage will endure. And so it gives me the greatest of pleasures to say that you, Matthew, and you, Holly, are my husband and wife.
Your daughter's boyfriend is a part of family life, but when they get engaged, you take a little more notice. Matt and Holly were engaged for almost 4 years, so I had plenty of time to get to know Matthew. I have to say, not quite as well as the time I spent with him more recently on the occasion of his stag do in Benidorm. I'm going to share with you one particular event, or should I say display, that took place. To set the scene, there were 12 of us, which included Matt's father, David. quiet and thoughtful man. This gave me a lot of comfort as I naively thought his presence would calm things down. Well, it didn't. I'm sorry you have to hear this, Jane, but it had the totally opposite effect. On the day of this display, we were staggering to the next bar and passed a stall selling some unusual t-shirts. Of course, Matt's friend felt compelled to buy one for Matt. Not only that, but they made him wear it for the rest of the day. Much to my surprise, he did, and with pride. It was bright orange and had a message written in large letters on the front. I assumed this message could only be for my beautiful daughter Holly, now Mrs. Ireland. Now I'm assuming that this t-shirt may have now completely gone missing, never reaching home or perhaps tucked away in Matt's secret memorabilia. There is another saying, Matthew, you always expect the unexpected. Yeah. And so let me give you a totally unbiased opinion of my beautiful daughter Holly. Her mother and my beautiful wife says, she is my rock, not just a daughter, but one of my very best friends. She's been like a second mother to our youngest daughter, Lottie. Lottie clearly feels the same way, saying Holly has always looked after me and often dropped everything to support me. I am so lucky to have a big sister like her. She is selfless, hardworking, caring, thoughtful, and the best role model I could wish for. I hope I can be half the person she is one day. Oliver says Holly has the ability to listen and care for others. He is so proud to have her in his life as a sister. Oliver and Cleo are here today with their new baby and my granddaughter, Naomi. And he says he can't wait for her to get to know Holly and love her as much as he does. I also remember once getting quite cross with her about something she said to me. I suggested she might like to apologise. Her response was to say, "Why should I apologise when I know I'm always right?" She always worked very hard at school, but she won't mind me saying didn't always achieve the grades she needed. But she was undeterred and determined to go to university. After retake, she was offered a place at Liverpool John Moore, which is also where she first met her husband. Steph and I are both immensely proud of what she has achieved and the person she has become, as we are of all three of our children. So finally, a few words on the wisdom on marriage. I hardly feel qualified to provide such words, because I've only been married once. Perhaps 41 years of marriage counts for something. As we all know, life is so short. I am fast learning that each year gets shorter than the last, so try not to take each other for granted and appreciate every day together. As I mentioned, I met many of Matt's friends in Benidorm, and to put the record straight, it was actually a privilege both to be invited and to go with them to Benidorm. I had an unforgettable time. Holly too has so many close friends from her childhood, school, university and work, and I know they have all been very supportive and a very important part of your life. Friends are special because you can share both the good and the not so good things in your life. Families are just as important. And though I say it myself, you both have two amazing families to support and love you. So please now join me in raising your glasses to friends, families, and of course, Holly and Matt, Mr. and Mrs. Ireland.
To the parents, Steph, David's mum and dad. We both know how lucky we have been to have you as our parents and now as in-laws also. You have set a great example for the both of us in how to make a successful marriage and future together. And the only reason we are here today is for the four of you. Your unconditional love and support in everything we do and have done is truly appreciated. And on behalf of both Holly and I, thank you all to the parents. As is the case for anybody, Holly has inherited all of the best qualities of her parents. And some of the bad ones. But there is one particular thing I'm grateful she inherited, and it might not be from the parent you think it is. In September of 2012, I was living at home with my parents, having finished my third year of uni, and Holly had just moved back up to Liverpool to start her third and final year. Some of my friends from uni were also back in Liverpool, and one Monday I got a message to say all the lads were going out to the Raz, which was the student night in a place called the Blue Angel Pub in Liverpool. And they were asking did I want to tag along. I didn't have anything better to do, so I obliged. Now, in all the time I'd known these lads, we had never gone out on a Monday, and we had never been to this venue either. At the time, I put the reasoning down to the excitement of being back at uni and seeing everyone, but that wasn't entirely true, was it, Michael? No, Mike had managed to convince our group of friends to go out that night because he knew Sophie, his new girlfriend at the time and now fiance, would also be attending the student night with her housemates, and it just so happened to be that one of those housemates was Holly. To cut a long story short, we get to the venue, drink a lot, and meet up with Sophie and her housemates and have an amazing night laughing and dancing. Now, what I'm about to say, some of you might not believe, but it's exactly how I remember it. In the middle of dancing, out of nowhere, Holly turns around and plants one on me. Yes, ladies and gents, the characteristic that Holly inherited from her parents I'm most grateful for is her father's weakness for attractive boys. The two most important days in a person's life are the day they are born and the day they find out why. I did not know it at the time, but that day in early September 2012 was one of those days. You are my best friend, and my reason why. I love you. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please raise your glass?
Matt and I have been together for over 10 years, with the majority of this navigating our 20s, which I'd argue to be quite a difficult decade of life. And over this time, we have grown as individuals, as a couple, and become a family. Today, sealing the deal, hopefully, forever. You are an excellent cook. You make delicious cocktails. You are calm in a crisis. You are able to adapt. You are kind and supportive to your friends and family. And you continue to surprise me even after all this time together. I think one of the biggest things that surprised me fairly early on in our relationship together was your willingness to move up to Scotland with me. For me, this was a cornerstone moment. We'd been doing long distance for nearly a year. I had a career path that I was very driven to follow. And when I said to you I wanted to apply to that job in Aberdeen, you were nothing but supportive. You moved 250 miles away from your friends and your family to be with me. And I remember thinking at that time, wow, this is serious. You really must love me. I'm honoured to join the Ireland family. Having done a little research into the background and history of the survey, it was interesting to read how strong the links were with Scotland and Liverpool, important places in our relationship. And the Ireland family motto is Amor et Pax, which translates to love and peace, which I thought were fitting words for a marriage. So I would like to raise a toast to you, Matthew, and to love and peace for the rest of our lives together. I can't wait. So Matt, love and peace.
In year 6, Holly and I we sang a duet in our leaders' assembly. Holly sang her verse with such beauty and poise and decorum, and then it came to me and I was crying so much at the prospect of leaving my best friends to go to another secondary school that Holly had to sing my verse. Which I think actually sums up our friendship perfectly. when I talk about Holly to anyone that I meet, oh God! It was the time when we were 14. And we went on an underinflated banana boat in the middle of a storm in Portugal. And we were violently thrown off. Holly somehow collided with my dad's face. And when we came to and resurfaced, Holly was just covered in blood. And my first thought was that sharks would be attracted to the smell of her blood. So instead of swimming towards her to help my poor friend who'd obviously broken her nose, I swam away from her, screaming, "Sharks, sharks!" And I clambered back into the boat. But incidents and stories like that have to be saved. Another occasion. Despite that, and many, honestly, so many other stories. Holly, for some reason, has stayed being my friend. We caught crabs in Walberswick. I mean, like these crabs. Crustaceans. And I was even Holly's prom date in year 13. We put windows down, music up. We'd wait for the cars to pass, so there was a space for us to go. Holly would accelerate down this road, and we'd hit the dip in the road, and I feel like our stomachs would drop when we were on a roller coaster, not in a little blue Yaris. Before we go round the roundabout and head back and do it all again. Driving and car journeys have also always meant like a lot to me and Holes. It's been a place for us to vent, to catch up, to rant, to laugh, and to harmonise with yeah, always. What I appreciate so much about our friendship is that we are still really 14. Apart from, I think that I've gained hopefully a little bit more empathy. Holly is, and always has been, unapologetically herself. She sees the best in people and she gives everyone a chance. She is so light, yet she is the anchor for so many people in this room.
Yesterday, I got up early and managed to sneak into the castle with Matt. To my surprise, we went to the rehearsal in the evening, and what did Matt get out of the box? Bottle of Matt. Judith, no, you're not seeing double, there are two of us, and it's not the wine. This does solve one dilemma, however. I was going to ask Dan and Dave to bid on who was going to get the cut out. Now we can flood again. If I can ask all the staff at the castle to please make sure the doors are fully locked, as we all know Matt is a flight risk once he's had a drink. So, as stated, all three of us hail from Shore. This is an Oldham, if you're not from around here. Nice little village, we're all in there. For those who don't know, Dave is a keen fisherman. And I can honestly say we've seen Matt pull some absolute river monsters. Last day of life was definite lows and a few highs until along came Colin. We don't know how you bagged Holly, but we're very glad you did. Matt was also a keen footballer, not that you can tell it now. And in his youth, he was a keen Latics fan and also a ball boy at Latics. He also played regularly because he injured his knee, but we were also suspicious this was a reason to get out of his stag do. So, David and Steph. Our first experience with Holly was many moons ago at one of our flat parties in Manchester. Do you remember this, Holly?
Yeah.
Holly seemed a pleasant girl and well up for a drinking game. But then came the aftermath. Holly spent the evening hugging my toilet in the ensuite. This also then resulted in me having to be kicked out of my own apartment because Holly could not leave the flat. I made it homeless for the evening. Now, on to drunk stories, back to Matt. Holly, you've got to know that's all your stuff. So, Matt thinks himself a connoisseur of whiskey, as we can see by the room tonight. He loves an old fashioned. The problem with that, though, is Matt can't actually drink at all. It started okay in our younger years, many a night in old Manchester. Matt Matt would advise if he felt sick, he could take himself to the bathroom or the nearest alleyway, and he would then reappear. He was the king of tactical chunder. However, as the years have passed, his ability has now waned. He's now what we would call a wet blanket. Let's review some of those recent epic meltdown moments. New Year's Eve at Matt and Jimmy's flat. So, New Year's Eve, Matt skips off to the local shop and appeared with Sambuca. He spent the night like the Sambuca fairy, pouring everyone a shot on the basis that he would only pour if he did one himself. One by one he went round the room and surprised no one he didn't make midnight. He did, however, offer some sage life advice to the group whilst lying on the bathroom floor at around 10 o'clock. What was that advice, Matt?
Never stop drinking.
This is from Matt to you. I've known Matt since we were 5 years old, started primary school, and I've not been able to shake him off since. But in all seriousness, and it pains me to say this, you're a great friend who cares a lot for the people around you, and you've always been there when we needed you. And I know you will always do the most to make sure this marriage holiday is the best it can possibly be. You're a kind-hearted, loving friend, and I couldn't be happier that you found someone that you share the same morals with. Couldn't imagine a better couple, better suited for each other, and I wish you both a lifetime of happiness. Me, Kate, and our daughter can't wait to celebrate with you very soon. A quick mini cheers to you both. You can always class. You're honestly one of the best mates. Over the years, be it living in the other ends of the country or at different unions, you've always stayed close, and I think that's a testament that you always make the effort. When life's been tough for me, you've been there, be that to laugh or cry. Also, each other weird memes on Instagram. And it's honestly never taken for granted. You're an absolute diamond of a friend. You're immensely funny, and although that often gets cut short when you backdoor it, you turn every night out into an amazing night, and you're always going to be up on that one. Holly, you're an amazing girl. We both love you lots, and we wish you a lifetime of happiness. You're perfect for one another, and we're thrilled to celebrate with you both today. Therefore, ladies and gentlemen, can I ask that you please be upstanding and raise your glass to the bride and groom?
start this one off. All of you join hands in a big circle. You can advance in towards me. 1, 2, 3. Give me a loudest cheer on 4. And you go, 1, 2, 3, scream, everyone! Oh boy. Scotty, what did you think? Is that loud enough for you? No, definitely not. So second time even louder. Come on. 1, 2, 3, scream! Alright, ladies, very good. So, I cannot say that through the microphone. Anyway, but yeah, good. Right, so, gentlemen. Okay, that's going to be a story I'll tell you later, Scotty. Right, so, gentlemen, you're going to see the perfect press-up. Because I know you've got it in you, right? But, ladies, I think it's only fair that you decide how many press-ups you demonstrate. So, ladies, show your fingers and hands. How many press-ups would you like to see him demonstrate? Okay, the average answer, I believe, is 10. Normally I would say 20, but I can see you've got some work to do later on, so, I don't want to tire you out, So, 10 press-ups in your own time. Cameras at the ready. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9. Let's see the one of
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old lang syne? For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet for days of old lang syne. We twa here run about the braes and put the gowans fine, but we've wandered many a weary fet since days of old lang syne, and we twa he pedalled in the barn frae morning sun till dine. But seas between us braid he rode since days of old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take a cup o' kindness yet for days of old lang syne. And surely you'll be your pine stoop, and surely
We do this twice. Forward for 2. Slap, slap, slap. Back for 2. Excellent. Offer your partner your right hand. Turn them round and go back to where you were. Offer them your left hand and turn them round and go back to where you were. And as long as everyone's gone underneath your top couple's bridge, we should then have a new top couple.
And we'll take a recht get well walked for auld lang syne, for auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne. We'll take a cup o' kindness yet for auld lang syne, for auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne. We'll take a cup o' kindness yet for auld lang syne.